Peace. Welcome to Intellectually Full. This is your brother Wise Dunn. I got some guests in here today. Would y'all like to introduce yourself today for me?
Okay, for myself. What am I looking at?
Here you go. Here you go. You're going to have to need to talk to the mic so they can hear you.
Into the mic, and then where am I looking to? Like anywhere?
Any camera, the main one.
I don't know. Look,
Okay,
we on
main
the
one.
podcast, so we ain't never had nothing nice, but we getting there. So, we are HGC Apparel. I'm Marsha. I'm the owner of HGC Apparel. So happy to be here and to be fellowshipping with my black folks today.
Okay. Ladies.
What's going on, y'all? I'm Simone, and so happy to be here.
It's just joy.
Okay.
Also happy to be here.
Got Black History Month. You good? Can you able to use it?
I'm over here trying to make sure it doesn't, get in the way of the fit. Like, I gotta make sure. It was right here. I had to make sure this was like, I don't know how it works.
Yeah, they got to hear you, though.
I know. That's why I'm like, I don't know if it should be here, right here. Like, what's
Okay,
the best?
let's hold on. Let's see.
What's the best?
Ain't the camera on hold real quick. We're going to see if we can try to get it right. Okay.
Now, let's see. Yeah, but I want to make sure, like, what's the best angle to make sure people can hear you fully. This is the whole
How about that?
podcasting 101. Is that it?
It's a good look if you're right there. You see it on?
Uh-oh, it's leaning now. How about you see it?
You might have to hold it.
I mean, like, I got to hold like this.
Yeah.
Dang, hold on. I can't, like, switch it up.
No.
Sorry, I'm gonna let the non-black people. I'm just gonna be like I'm holding it the whole time. We ain't ever gonna see us struggle. We here with it, but we got it. But,
So tell us about yourself.
so tell you about me and the brand, or me. or
Yeah,
the brand.
you and the brand.
Okay. Well, HGC Apparel. I know that people have been wondering for a long time, but HGC Apparel. I'm from Howard University or from
You
DC.
gotta talk to the mic so they can hear
It
you.
keeps falling, so you want me to still hold it?
Yeah,
I ain't
yeah.
wanna,
So
I ain't
mind
wanna
you, also
y'all
with
look
the-
like that. But I'm gonna just hold it. I was just gonna let it just fall to the wayside. But okay, I'm Marsha, owner of HGC Apparel, from Howard University, from Washington D.C. So, the brand mostly is from Howard University. I say that all the time. But after graduating from Howard University in 2008, I wanted to have a brand, as you see, that offered different things that were very, very monolithic to the culture, or just really put that whole look and vibe very, as you notice, having this flannel. Like, this flannel has a logo for HGC Apparel as well, Black by Popular Demand, but just trying to make something that gives me that nostalgia, makes me feel really good when I walk into sets, even like this, something like this, making me feel my best when I'm coming out here to show myself as a black person to others. So I wanted to create a brand that makes me feel amazing when I go to different environments, when I come and show up. And, just talk about blackness or just fellowship with my black folks. I just want something that makes me feel amazing. So I want to have a brand that make me feel good, that empowers others, that helps to just educate other people on every aspect of life, not just finances. I know you see finances all the time and just different things that have to do with our culture. But, yeah, it can be all that. But as we all know from, like, Deion Sanders and other things, when you look good, you feel good, you play good. Play good, they pay good. And playing good means, as far as creating one of these beautiful podcast sets like you were doing right now.
Appreciate it.
Anything that you're doing, playing good, paying good, making sure you're looking good, it helps all of that. So I want to have a brand that make sure I'm helping your dreams as well. So.
Yeah, that's fire. And coming up as a black, entrepreneur, and shout out to y'all, for those who do not know, your brand is in Foot Locker as well, right?
Yes,
Can you tell us
yes.
a little bit more about that? Because that is huge. That's my favorite.
Yes.
That is
Like,
huge.
That's dope. Okay. Hand clap.
Yes, that is.
Hey, one more hand clap. 1 second. I know I said it before. Because the thing is, reason why I kind of want you to have the mic to you, so when people hear the audio, they can hear you a lot more better.
Of course,
So
of
the
course.
thing is, when you too distance, you can't hear yourself. They can't hear you too much. I want them to hear you. You feel me? Because you got to be heard today. You got to be heard today.
Definitely.
Well, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, being in Foot Locker, a lot of people need to even know it's always been a long time coming. Just getting into any major store for any fashion brand or just anybody in that nature, and to be in Foot Locker, I mean that was monumental. I don't know if people know that Foot Locker had an initiative that offered different black businesses an opportunity to be showcased, or just even pledging just a certain amount of money, or just even certain allegiance to these black businesses. So I was contacted, not nothing you had to apply for. No, it was just something that they reached out personally to me for and asked me if I wanted to be one of the main businesses that were showcased during this time of, right after George Floyd, things like that. But not even like a cash grab, but just their own allegiance, like something they were really doing. You always see like, okay, what do you want? George Floyd going on. It's like, hey, we want to help. How much do you want to help? But no, they really were trying to help, really trying to say, like we would love to, see your brand do better or just be in a broader scope because I'm very much online. I don't like to be in stores too much or stores that are not something that we control. I like to do boutique ownership or things that where I can make sure that we're collectively just putting our dollars in the best places. But if it's not that, then I've been very leery over the years just of putting my brand in those places. So. But Foot Locker was amazing. First black female-owned brand to do it. As far as like even an Ivy Park. Like, look, okay, y'all have Ivy Park. You have so many other things, but Ivy Park was even
the applause on
Lady
there.
Foot Locker.
So. Applause on there.
We need all the applause for that one.
And then we had
there we go.
We definitely had HGC Apparel standing up there right next to Cross Colors and them even signing off on the brand as well because it's not even a competition, but it's about all of us making our stay place in this area and for me to build that bridge for others to come across because I don't very Harriet Tubman with it. I need to make sure that all y'all can cross that railroad and you need to go.
That's dope.
That's what I wanted, and to finally have a brand that we knew from the '90s, or at least I knew. I know it's getting a little more hazy with the younger generation, but just having a brand where Carl Kanai, Cross Colors, all those brands, and to stand there amongst the greats. And to have a brand as a black woman and say that we can definitely, as you see, we can wear Urban Brand as well. We can definitely do those things and still look cute, still make sure we, our fit is on point. So I was just like, this is amazing for me. Like Malcolm X has to put all this together and be a female-owned brand to bring a certain type of ruggedness to Foot Locker that it needed, or just even to the culture that it needed, was amazing for me.
So let me ask you, how difficult was it to get into Foot Locker?
Not at all. I told you they hit me up.
What?
But I mean, in general, it is gonna be difficult for anybody. I feel like I took the difficult hurdle on early on, which was as soon as I come in the room, you asked me about the hat. Yeah. So you make sure that the stuff is on point. Mm-hmm. My stuff has always been on point from day one. Yeah. Certain items, even flannels, things like this, I know I've had this sample maybe about 4 years now. And it's just stuff I've never released this, and I've just had it. I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna wear it today.
And how long you been doing this brand?
10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
10
dope,
years.
dope.
10 years.
Before you got to Foot Locker, were you already were you a brand that was up and coming, or were you like, okay, now we're here, we built our foundation, we're popping already?
Oh, no, girl, what was it? I was actually, people don't know this too, I'm gonna take it on the road when I was in the military also. So I was in the military from 2010 to 2019 or 2018, so about 7.5, 8 years, right? So being in the military, it wasn't, I was just always doing this part-time. It was never something I did full-time, but just, that whole 9 to 5 juggle that people think like, oh, how do I go from 9 to 5 to straight to business? I mean, if I know if I can do it, I don't want to say if I can do it, you can do it. But at the same time, this is a military-style business. I lived in 6 or 7 different countries running a business. And I just want people to know, like, you can really run a business from everywhere, do whatever it is. And it's not like a drop shipping. This is actually having products have to come to Germany, come to Korea, like, just so I can make sure I look at it, make sure it's good for everybody, and then I push it out. Yeah. I was QAQCing this stuff in foreign countries. just that, it was that serious to me. I don't want anybody else doing it. I want to look at it. I want to make sure it's good for you. Yeah. So that was very, very different. But it was very difficult, I feel like, to just maintain a certain standard and the quality because people don't really care. And I really care. As you saw when I walked in here, I care about how the stuff looks, how these things present themselves to our people, because I want it to be like, oh, I need that. As soon as you see me, you need to be like, I need that. So that's why y'all know why it costs.
It works. It works.
It's worth it. It commands attention. It expresses your blackness in the fullest of ways. And I just wanted something that was really, really like that. But I feel like the hardest part is just making sure your brand commands that attention. And anything else, it's always, when you make sure your quality and your standards and all that stuff is good, then I feel like that was the hardest part. Foot Locker, everything else is going to come so easy if you have the quality. Yeah.
So when did you start feeling like everything was coming easy after those 10 years?
It ain't never come easy. The people just be showing that. Listen. These hand movements are killing me. I'm like, listen, everybody. Why? I would be sitting there like this, like, why is she doing that? I'm not podcast. I'm not podcast friendly, but we gonna get there.
We gonna get there. We getting her there. She there now.
But as you see, we need this right here. I didn't want this, I'm very much photo ready. I'm like, nah. All right, we gonna say it. We gonna keep it right there. But what you want to know from me now? What's your next question?
What? You made me forget.
At what point did it start getting easy?
Yeah, when did it
Yes,
start
but
getting
it was easy. Yes,
Yeah.
it didn't. It was never. This is never easy. But the easy part is to maintain a certain quality that I have. I feel like the easiest thing is just maintaining quality, knowing what that quality looks like, knowing that we as a people, I'm not gonna let y'all accept just anything because I have a certain standard and price point or just anything that I'm presenting to the people. And I feel like that's the easiest part of everything. Nothing else is easy. The business, the setting up, the systems, the processes, building the pack, none of this is easy. But if it's a labor of love, then it's a labor of love. I feel like for me, I know I want better for our people. I know I want more for us. So I don't mind the things that it takes to go into this.
Yeah.
But easy, no. But that's why you do things that you love. It doesn't become painful. I feel like to you. So that's the only difference.
And so someone looking at this podcast saying, I want to start a clothing brand this successful. Right? So there's a lot of people who start t-shirt brands, but they face one of their brand on it. And honestly, let's be real, it doesn't get anywhere. Right? So what do you feel like, in addition to the quality, really sets your brand apart to make it successful?
I just feel like even with those small shirts, I feel like there's nothing even wrong with printing on a Gildan shirt, these things that you're doing, but offer a holistic experience. No one's really offering any type of experience or anything that goes with, I wouldn't even say myself included, but it's hard to kind of keep that with fast fashion and everything else. That's the whole thing with even designer brands or whatever. You go in there for the experience. You're going in there for them to treat you a certain type of way. And I feel like even with the smallest shirt, if you're giving them that personal experience, that's all people want. They just want you to act like you care about them, or never act, but care about them, care about my dollars that are being spent. Just asking how the clothes fit on you. How is everything going for you? How did you enjoy this and this and this? Do you want to come to this mixer on Friday? I want you to wear the clothes that you purchased. Let's come to this mixer. Let's have a toast. Let's do stuff like that. And that's the things I feel like for this brand that sets it apart is that personal experience that you try to offer with it. But anybody, I feel like the only thing that's going to set you apart is just your personality or branding being personal or just making sure that you really care about any and every single person that you touch. And that's really where I cared about a long time ago. Just how can I touch any and every person? It's even me and you, months and months ago, it was never, hound you, but just how can I make sure that, hey, if you ever need me, I'm here. If you need this or, whenever we can come together, we can come together. But making sure that people know that you're there for them and making sure that they know that this brand is more than just, a lot of people just want to invest in something that's more than just the clothing, more than shoes. What is this? I mean, Jordan was a movement. LeBron is a movement. So it's bigger than just him as a player. So how can we invest in different things that really just can make us feel better about ourselves, but also can make us feel like we can move mountains out here in this society.
Yeah. So where did all this this whole Fashionista shit come from? Where did it start?
Right.
When did it hit you? Huh? What you about 8 years
I already
old?
know, like I already told you, I come from the Mecca. It came from Howard. You know what it is.
Okay.
Being at Howard, this is a very, it's a trying school just with anything. We've seen, or the ladies know, even seeing Mean Girls or seeing just environments where it's just like a high school or anything like, damn, these people out here dressing. Like I can't be out here to have step in anything, just where like those high school nuances still play out, even in college and other aspects. But just being you love it when you go to a school where everybody be dressing, that's Howard. Yeah. Like people be coming in school, coming up in classes just like this, just for the, like, okay, let me just come sit down, get my learning. What is she doing with all this on just for the class? Either you're going to get sweats and slippers or like a full-on fit like this.
Yeah.
So I feel like at Howard, just wanting to be, when you're doing presentations in front of anybody, something specifically, I don't know if y'all seen Dr. Carr online anywhere with Roland Martin or different places like that, but Dr. Carr is a professor at Howard University, and just being in some of his classes and just that pro-blackness that he will make you feel, that's just like, why am I not just putting it on, even a dashiki, something, like, like I need to make it some kind of way. But I just feel like that just came from that, just this being in that environment, just really caring about my blackness, about how I push my blackness. I feel like that's where this all came from. It wasn't really, I feel like it was before that because I was in that area before, but nothing like, oh, I'm wearing Howard. Like even Howard sweaters, you're going to either I'm in this or I'm in a Howard sweater. Just very much about the school, about the education, about things that are about our progression. So I just feel like just being in those environments, being from major cities, it'll really help you to really hone in on your blackness. But I feel like for me, Howard really kind of formed all of this together, not even in a pro black way, but just even thankful, just happy to be in your skin. That's really what it is.
So when did you attend Howard?
From 2004 to 2008.
Okay.
And taking it back to Howard with your business, what was that like? Like, were you slanging, shirts and stuff like that on the side of the studio?
Not at all. No. Well, for me, it's another curveball. I went to Howard on a bowling scholarship.
Oh, what?
So
Oh
you
my
couldn't.
God. We went
On a bowling scholarship.
Bowling scholarship. I went to Howard on a bowling scholarship. So I was in the athletics sector of things. So it wasn't things where you can even have a job. I was on a full scholarship too. So I couldn't have a job. And so I couldn't really do too many other things, but I knew I wanted to, after pledging, and I pledged at Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, I wanted to make sure I could constantly make sure I have my pole, or just even your finger on the pulse of the streets and doing things that are really impactful, even with your organizations and just on the campus in general. So I started kind of there, just making stuff that was free for the sorors and things like that. So it wasn't even nothing to where you had to pay too much or do anything with it, but stuff that was very much just a philanthropic effort. And then once we had like situations like when Boosie was wearing like Kappa clothes, and I was having that happen to me too. It wasn't just Boosie. People I would just only make stuff for Greek organizations. So they would take the clothing, and people would take the stuff for like SG Rose, AKA just something that's pink and green. They got it on at the supermarket, or they got it on at this rally. And I'm like, ma'am, that says 1908 under. Ma'am, like, so that's what was happening. So I was like, okay, I need to make a brand or I need to make something, or I got to pivot, just like one of those rebrandings people are so scared to do. I had to rebrand, or even I had a brand, and then I'm like, okay, well, we're doing stuff for Hot Greeks Couture. So that's when it became HGC Apparel. So I can do things for everybody and not just Hot Greeks Couture, because I was doing stuff for just the Divine Nine organizations, which was amazing. But we had stuff like Boosie going on, and I'm like, I'm tired of us getting mad on the back end when we know we need, like, even though Boosie be doing crazy stuff at that time. This is 2015. Boosie wearing Kappa clothes, Wipe Me Down is out. Like, I just felt like, what is why are y'all upset? But y'all need to show this man the way. If he's already there, I just felt like at that time. And I blame the Kappas because they know that he like that, and they should have been policing him up a long time ago. But we're not going to talk about that. It's on the Kappas now. Like, it's on the Kappas now. They should have gave Boosie some etiquette a long time ago. Blame the Kappas.
Oh, shit.
They too suave. They too suave not to give Boosie no juice. But shout out, I love the cat. My blood brother, he's a noob as well. He graduated from VCU, so I'm always giving him a hard time about that. If y'all just brought Boosie on, we wouldn't have this mess. If y'all would just let him know a long time ago, he could have some manners.
So how long you been out here in Las Vegas?
About 4 years now.
4 years? What made you make that move here?
Just the military again. Just
really?
I was in Hawaii, my last duty station, and just moved here honestly after Hawaii. So that was the only reason I came out to Vegas. You hear about it. It's like, okay, this is nice. It's warm. You just want to go somewhere that's not necessarily California. At the time, I didn't know that California had fires all the time.
Yeah.
And so, that major fire they had in like 2018, I was like, oh my God, like California's on fire. We can't go there. And I'm like, this is happening all the time. Why won't you just, like, if I wanted to move to Cali, and I'm like, that really deterred me. Like, I didn't know that they have fires all the time, being from the East Coast. So I was like, okay. So that's the only reason I really moved to Vegas, because I was going to move to Cali. But Vegas was cool.
So you made it the second option, like Vegas just.
I wouldn't say it was a second. I didn't know either
shitty.
one. I wouldn't even say I didn't know either option. But obviously people know Vegas a little cheaper. So you're able to actually own property, y'all, buy homes out here. So that's the main reason why I came.
So
out
how
here.
you been liking it though so far?
I actually like it more after COVID. Pre-COVID, it was a little different, but
Why?
The attitude was mad crazy out here. I just feel like people had a real
worse.
It was worse, I feel like, before COVID.
Oh, you know what? Because
Why
they were
not?
having shootouts on the highway for road rage before
But
COVID.
that's happening.
People went crazy after COVID.
That was happening before.
That was happening. That's happening now, I feel like. But
Are they still
before,
doing
they was just
shootouts?
in their own bags. They didn't really care about even shooting you. They was too busy living on their own high, trying to kill you with their car on the highway. But now it's more of just like as you were saying, like shootouts. Like now they're personal attacks. They're just taking that stuff personal. Before they kind of like give you a little attitude about themselves, but people were so self-consumed here. It was real wild. And now I feel like after COVID, it's like you have to really come off for yourself and understand what's happening. And I feel like they're just a little more humble here. I don't even think you had to be humble, but like it was just a really bad attitude. Like I said, just out here like putting your gun in the air, like out the sunroof. It was like that. Like when I first got
Like the Wild Wild West?
it was Wild Wild West for real. I was just like, what's wrong with you? You're like, fuck, I'm turning. That's what's happening. You be like the middle lane. I don't give a damn. Like, what's happening?
Yeah, they still do that shit now.
Is that not it?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
is that not the energy here? And that's what it was. But now it's kind of like, I'll just wait for the light to change. That's the only energy that's what happened in Vegas.
Develop some patience in the house.
Yeah, like it was a piece of patience that happened. That's all I wanted. People was just, that attitude was real stank when I first
How you
got
adapting
here.
to the desert now? From being
Desert?
like, yeah.
Like I said, it's fine now. I feel like everybody's kind of adapted to being a little slower pace, not even kind of trying to move fast, but not really. It's more of like, you know, here's a lot slower than Cali, but then you're kind of coming out here before COVID, everybody making their money, a lot of gambling going on. You know, it's very big gambling culture, very big everything as far as games and NBA, stuff like that. But now when everything kind of died down, people just kind of networking a little more, not as standoffish, a little more, you know, kind of even saying hi. You know, I live in Alabama and I'm like right outside of New Orleans, Mobile, as you know, like I said, you the Catilda. So we ain't even saying hi. We can't even just hello, just nothing, not a head nod, nothing.
They look at you
Just
funny when you
move.
speak to them here.
About the
Yeah.
like, why are you speaking? Just what's up? And
Like,
I'm
do
not
I
used
know
to that.
you?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not
I
used
don't
to
know what
weird.
it is about our culture in Vegas. I
Are
can
you
tell
from? Are
that.
you? So
I'm
you're
born
from
and raised
born
here.
and raised here. What's
Born
going
and
on? You
raised.
so
I
you,
don't-
but you know though.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I think because I was like, I was probably maybe like 17, no, probably 18 or so, somewhere around there at the time. My dad was staying in Texas. So, Dallas, Texas at the time, I went to go visit him. And this is when I knew, I was like, damn, we fucked up out here in Vegas.
No.
Because I was walking and I was just staring at this dude for some reason because we just have a habit of just looking at a motherfucker and not saying nothing. So I'm looking at him and I'm like, and he just like, hey, how you doing? And it took me off. I said, what up? How you doing? And I was like, oh, because in his mind, he think I'm going to see him and say, what's up? I'm just used to just eye contact and just keep it going. I think that's just Vegas, man. Vegas is fucked up.
gotta
We don't know
be.
how
Y'all
to,
do
we
that
don't know how to
shit.
Staring
greet.
at you.
We don't know how to greet.
And don't know how to
My
say
apologies from
anything.
Vegas.
I try
We
to
all
talk to
fuck
people
ups.
at the store and they just sit there and look at
They
me
look
and
at you
like,
like,
huh? Yeah. So I be like, oh, I like your shoes. And they be like, yeah, all right.
I blame
Yeah,
California.
it's like, what you about? It's one of those. I don't know what that is, and that's why I don't think it's not necessarily like they're against you. It's more of just like, where are you? Like, what's going on with them? And I don't know if they're just not tapped in or what. But I feel like that was a big thing, just them being so, like I said, on themselves at first,
Yeah.
and then once COVID happened, everybody kind of slowed down, was able to kind of not be so, you know, so different. So
Yeah.
I definitely get it. Like you over talking about you staring at people. See.
Hey, I stopped
That's
after
like,
that.
what's wrong with you? And then
Yeah,
y'all
Do,
do,
man.
I
Yeah, I
can't
stopped
stare.
after
No,
that.
you can't. Like, no, you can't.
Please
Sir.
say something.
It's like, what are you doing?
I have
So-
to sit here and make up reasons as to why you staring at me now. That's kind of strange. What do y'all do that for?
So there was a young black girl. She see her. She's like, I like her style. I like her energetic. I like her personality. I want to be like that. Right?
Okay.
She was,
Likes
that's
this.
what she doing. I want to be like that. How can you tell her to go about to doing the things to get in the position that you in right now? Like, here, little girl, let me show you how to do this.
Oh man, I have these thoughts all the time, like talking to your younger self
Yeah.
and just being like, you know, I even pulled out today. It's actually my Sigma-versary, 17 years in Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, right?
Another.
So yes,
You've got a lot of these.
today is 17 years. So just even talking to that young girl, I was looking at that, and I was even write-ups in my book that said like, oh, I'm a sophomore at Howard University, just being at that time 19 and pledging, and just how do I talk to that young woman? And just even saying, I was looking at things and I was still talking about the struggle then, still talking about being unapologetic then, and then understanding my blackness at that point. So I would just even say, like, you know, just to it's really about just understanding yourself and understanding your truth and always living in it. I know people say that all the time, but like, I would just say to constantly just to keep living in that truth and understanding the battles that you even have to fight. I know that even in college or even other situations, even in the, what is it called? Like the civilian, the civilian sector. I'm out of it now. So I'm like, what is
Yeah.
it called? It's called working for real people. I'm like, what is that called? The civilian sector? But in the military, called civilian sector.
Yeah.
But just working normal jobs, normal stuff. I'm just tell me to really like that unapologetic black notion is a real thing. Like for me, even like I said, I don't even know what it's called anymore to be in the matrix or even what you want to call. I don't even know what it is anymore. So I'm just like I'm just so happy to just really be unapologetically black, like just to have meetings and to make sure if it doesn't fully serve our people, I'm not even engaging in it. And to have an opportunity to be like, I don't want to engage with it, to where it's not like it's a survival tactic and anything like that. So even to tell myself like, just what would I say to that young girl? Just any of y'all, just any of you. Like I even told Deshaun, I'm just really tired of meeting black people in survival mode. And I just remember meeting myself and even knowing myself even at that age, because I had no money then. I was broke as hell, eating oodles and noodles, and really just hot pockets. Had a little bit of stuff that I kept in a micro fridge in my dorm room while I would log on to a Mark Zuckerberg production called Facebook.
Yeah.
Like I remember that in 2004, and I was like, wow, this is cool. Let me see what this is gonna be about. And just knowing, like, how would I talk to that young girl to know that, no, you got something special, too. Yeah. You got something you need to know about. Because I've been upselling or just even upcycling, having, like, just thrifting and making clothes, doing stuff for a long, long time. And I just feel like just to tell that person, like, you know, your gifts are warranted. And I want every black person to know that their gifts are warranted. And I'm tired of meeting black people that are always surviving. And I just want, even for the HCC Academy that I've which is an internship program that Deshaun actually is coordinating, that just to let people know that they can thrive. I'm tired of meeting people on survival mode. Even all of us, he meeting me on survival mode, me meeting him on survival mode. I don't want us to be surviving anymore. I want us to thrive.
How you think can we get off of that? What's the solution? We gotta find solutions.
But honestly, I feel like the best route for us to stop surviving and thriving is to honestly just tap into our gifts. But even myself, like I told you, I was in the military for 8 years, so I still took 8 years to hone my craft. I was doing my business the whole time I was in the military. I've been out for 3.5 years now. So just people know this business and even anything like that. I've been in Foot Locker. That was 2 years ago now. So I was out the military for a year or something before that came about. So just I feel like thriving. I still was living unapologetically all that time, even being in the military, doing whatever, making clothes. My message, how I felt, my brain, everything has still been the same.
Yeah.
So that's always been what it is. So I feel like people, they just don't live in their truth enough and understanding that you can stand on that truth. You don't, even at these jobs, people don't even take that chance to say like, okay, well, what if I don't do this? Or know what that tact looks like to say even, oh, I don't want to do this. Or can we present this? Or what does this look like? And even if people are not necessarily against what you want or against what you want to do, being from the military, we know this. And so I feel like that's all what it is, and it's always going to be there. And for people to know, it's always going to be there. So where does your, your fight lie? Or what do you really, really care about? Like I said, to really get out of that survival mode. Like for myself, just to have the internship and other things, this is where I really see myself thriving. I still feel like I was always surviving, even with HCC Apparel. It's just been surviving, trying to make sure we come out, we put something that's greater than life. Yeah, but thriving is when I can empower others. Thriving is when he's going to Reno and accepting scholarships and things like that for school. Thriving is when I can come in here and talk to Simone about, just empowering other youth. That's thriving, not, not just making money and selling clothes. No, right. just trying to thrive and show others how to thrive and to make a business off of that as well. So
that's amazing. And back to doubling back to the HCC Academy. Can you tell us some more about that? That's really, really dope.
Yes. Look, HCC Academy is an academy I wanted to create to help students such as himself, for anyone that's in even PR, these modes we have now, PR or even marketing. But what does this look like for e-commerce, the PR, the marketing, the just actual packaging, logistics, all these things that make up a e-commerce business, because it's not just get online, talk. Or get online, we gonna act like we dancing around for some clothes and stuff. That's not what this is. So I really need people to understand that. Even from podcasting, I was like, yo, I'm about to be in a pod. This is so crazy to me to watch all these things transpire from videography. This is basically videography too. Yeah. To videography, to scripting, to podcasting. Like there's nobody besides a Spike Lee or somebody who's trained in these things. And I'm just like, I love to watch all of our black people just take all their talents and soar with them. And I feel like we don't necessarily even hone in on like, damn, I do a podcast. Like, do you even know like just what this is? Like, I just feel like for us, we just be like, I need to do it. I need to make it. You're making a whole podcast here, like actual equipment, multiple cameras, ring light, like this stuff like this, audio stuff that just I don't think they understand is actual craft.
Yeah.
And this is a craft, and it's things that I'm tired of us just doing stuff and overcoming and not really taking accountability or taking patting yourself on the back for all the accolades and the things that we can constantly come up with after just hurdle after hurdle after hurdle after hurdle. But HCC Academy, yes, I just want to make sure like through these hurdles that these children will get things like as far as like registering your EINs, your actual business accounts, knowing how to do those different things. Even if it's, I want to make sure, even if I'm paying you, if you move to paid internships, all those different type of things what I offer too. I want to pay your business. I don't want to pay you. Yeah. So even setting that up for you and even making sure those payments are done, like paying for you to get your actual business licensing, things like that. That's how I feel like HCC Academy, why aren't we doing those things? We're all too often, we're pointing people to LegalZoom and this and this and that. No, sit down, hold their hand. We on this site. Let's go. All right, what do you want? Pink Pansies LLC. Like, that's just, what is it? I feel like that's all that's missing from LegalZoom to you is you holding my hand. Yeah. And I'm here to have it out.
That's a beautiful thing because, most people, they keep the information to themselves and then they make people go, oh, no, you got to pay me $29.95 for this ebook.
Pay $4.99 LegalZoom to get this. For stuff that's free. Your EIN is free. Yeah. I mean, not the business licenses and things, but $75, $50. It might, all of those things together might be $300. Yeah. But you're going to pay that extra $200 for LegalZoom to do it. So, but I don't necessarily, you just don't mind that. It's like, okay, here, let me tell you how to empower yourself, how to get these things for yourself, and then we can go on from there. And then even try to teach other types of things, like moving on for the future. I know I'm bigger dreams, but just even affiliate marketing. So many things I know how to do, you just don't even have enough time to get it out to the people. So that's what I wanted to start HCC Academy to do. It's even if I'm not doing it, hey, can you go set this up for me? Can you go set up this affiliate marketing? Let's talk about these cameras in here. Let's go on Amazon and talk about the cameras that we got set up in here. Can you set up that affiliate marketing for me? And then you just go ahead and keep them proceeds. Go ahead. You just set that up and just run the line, just figure that out. It's too easy. I just feel like it's too easy to figure this out and to make sure we empower others to while we even getting our thing. I'm like, okay, hey, you need some extra money. Hey, can you figure out how to do this affiliate marketing link? Can we set up how do we review on these Amazon A7 cameras or these Sony A7 cameras and this and this and this and that, and just go ahead and set it up on my account. But then we're just going to route it. It'll just go to you for whatever. It's not about the money either. Yeah. It's not about that. It's give it to the kids. Like give it to whomever's going to help you and to get where you need to go with the knowledge that you have. Like I feel like the knowledge and everything I possess is so much more lucrative than, just trying to come in and doing whatever. So I really wanted to start HCC Academy to, even if I can't offer all these crazy salaries, I can definitely teach you how to fish for whatever fish.
Exactly. Instead of
ahi, like tuna, like catfish, which fish you want? All right, put this bait on. Like that's where I'm at.
And that's worth even more than salaries. If you know how to do that, you can make however much you want.
Exactly. Teach somebody how to fish instead of fishing for them.
Look, that's where I'm at.
So also tell us about growing up in DC.
Growing up in DC. Well, I know that for me, even growing up in DC, I didn't spend all my childhood and things there. I was in Alexandria. I was on the outskirts of DC till I went in 2004. I went to Howard, for the adult life. But I was in Virginia, but I feel like even from there, like just being on the outskirts, I was in DC all the time. My parents worked in DC. I was always out there for different things. Living maybe 10 miles outside the city, or not even that, 5 really, Alexandria, about 5 miles out. It was different. At that time, the team was called the Bullets. I don't know if you remember the basketball team being called the Bullets. Yeah. We still had our Redskins. Shout out to the Redskins. Y'all always gonna be the Redskins. But I just feel like being in a place where it was so many different things, like having the Bullets and we're the most, just having a murder capital and you're being named the Bullets. Like having these different things that were happening in DC at that time. And watching so much unrest, having Marion Barry as a mayor, it was a lot of things happening then. But just it was very like a Philly or anything else, very very black, like Chocolate City. It's very just the nature of just blackness and understanding your blackness, loving your blackness. That's all DC was about. So I feel like just being there. Going to Howard, it was just what I knew. It was just already what it was. I knew that, school was, I just feel like I was already in the neighborhood, so I was just trying to get out. My mom was like, no, you're going to go to Howard. I'm like, I just thought I don't want to go to school in the neighborhood. That's all it really was. But I was like, no, Mom, I'm trying to go down south. She was like, no, you're going to go to Howard. Very much like Cicely Tyson, very like sit you down, like have a whole like point to your scholar. I don't even know what ancestor she pointed to. So that's how I knew I was going to Howard. But growing up in DC, it was just super, super Black, always different events, improvs, comedians. I know that even my mother, she would go to these different comedy shows, D.L. Hughley, John Witherspoon, like all these different, just having that super Def Jam that was going on then at that time during improv. So I just knew about all these, just that super, super Blackness at that time and just cross colors, and every brand was out. It was just so much Blackness. And in DC, people don't know that it was about 30 or 40 Black brands in the early 90s or like going into 2000 or 2000s, early 2000s. It was about 40 Black brands at one time in a 30-mile radius. And you would have all of them. It didn't matter who it was. Like, I love my even Madness, Hobo, Shooters, Makunus, all these different brands that was out here at the time. I had all of them. We Are One, anything it was. I loved supporting Black business. It was a thing. I would getting on a bus. Like, people that like, oh, it's the money. How am I getting on a bus, going over here to another part of town, spending whatever money I want to spend on this stuff, $100-something. I'm in college. I told you I ain't got no money. Like, I already said I got no money. I'm on a bus, and I'm going across town so I can or I'm going uptown a little bit to go to the Madness shop. Just go to the yellow Madness shop. People know about this in D.C. I'm going to the Madness shop. I'm going to go buy something. The sets, the T-shirts is still $50 then. Then people complaining now. Shirts was $50 then. It was $50 in 2004. It was $50, or a set was $100. This was this then, and I don't know if it's just major city action. I don't know, but I felt so proud to be like, oh, I wear this stuff, and it wasn't like, oh, why wouldn't they make it cheap so I can live? No, I'm just like, dang, I need to get my stuff together so I can really support and I can do what I need to do. And it wasn't like it was super crazy. It was just, I love it. I can come in the shop, talk to my people. They're nice. They, great service. So, but they didn't got raided. I blame them. They know more, but shout out to the Madness shop. They don't went away. But that's why I wanted from my brand. So being from DC, I wanted a brand that I was tired of looking brands get shut down. And I'm tired of y'all getting shut down. We can't stop there no more. But it's something that's legit, that's full-fledged, and that DC could see outside the limits. So that's what it was like growing up in DC. Different, but just wanting to bring that culture up out of it was the ultimate, influence from it.
Okay.
Now, I know you mentioned earlier, how Vegas is a great spot to come and buy land, because this is Cali and all that good stuff. So do you yourself, have other different investments? Of course, this is your baby, right?
Yes.
Your main thing. Do you also, are you currently in other business ventures, or are you planning on getting anything else? What does that kind of look like for you?
I would love that. I'm actually trying to see if I can even get a building, what that would look like for HGC Academy. But I feel like sometimes, you're always trying to, which sucks. You want to just do maybe it's this little, I don't even know, 500 square foot space, 1,000 square. But you always want to start small. But even for me, I see myself in some sort of Walmart-ish style warehouse. It's like it's already somewhere else where it doesn't even have to be. It's just the size of it, just some large warehouse with different interchangeable pieces within it that have to deal with the academy, actual clothing, shipping, lodging. I want all kinds. You just want all kinds of stuff. So I don't know what this looks like for me, because it's like, well, start small, but I'm tired of that. Like, I'm tired of starting small. It's like so it can sustain. Shut up. No, I don't want it to sustain. I want it to be larger than life. Because it's like as soon as you talk about sustain, then your dreams get little. It's just like, I don't get that. It's like, because especially for Black folks, it's like when you dream, you gotta shoot for the stars. Like, just what did Pop Smoke say? Shoot for the stars. Straight for the moon, because you have to be out here with it, because it's already gonna get stifled in so many ways. So I just feel like for me, I would love to have a building to associate with the academy for right now, or even like I have a mobile store. I have a van right now, which is I have a Sprinter van that I'm trying to convert to a mobile store so I can have some stuff around here. So those are some of the short-term goals that I'm looking for. Then even long-term, just trying to even acquire a building, but which I think is taking a longer time just because I'm like, my thoughts is just so wow. I want it to be larger than life. And I'm like, yo, this building gonna cost like $2 million. I'm like, well, who we gotta talk to? I'm like, who we gotta
How do we get this
because
started?
I'm really kind of tired of that. Like the Ask Alice, all that stuff. Y'all see those grants, those scholarships. I'm really kind of over it. I'm very left wing in those natures. I know other people will tell y'all like apply and what does this look like? Apply for grants to get your this and this and that. These grants ain't it. Where the camera? They ain't enough money. It's not
She
enough
said, we
money.
say this to
This is not
everyone.
enough
That is-
money.
Okay, but what you think? Ain't enough money?
It's not enough.
I knew you had
It's
something.
not enough money. Let's talk about it. If you apply for some grants, it's not enough money. Tell me if you think it's enough for these things that you have to do. Be it even a website upgrade that's about $25,000 with these $10,000 grants. Let's talk about it.
No, absolutely. I think it's
Like,
no, I think it's definitely a lot of truth to that, especially because they make
Not no
you
money.
go through so many hoops, right, to get the funding and different things.
It
But
ain't on you.
yeah, we can look at that.
Oh,
hey, no, we can look at it.
Yeah, but I mean, but really, it's they make you jump through so many hoops to kind of get funded and all of that. But it's now we need to start thinking about different ways we can kind of leverage and create our own funding, right? And really just building our own incubators and just like doing a lot of different things. And I think we can utilize that. I mean, you were talking about real estate earlier. A lot of people have equity in their homes and their properties, and also learning how to even leverage your business, right? And just assets that way as far as knowing like, okay, well, my business evaluation is this, where I can go and actually get a loan on that business to start this different project. And how do I actually go out and talk to different people that are interested in investing in my business, and understanding when you do that, you don't actually always have to sell a piece of your business, right?
Yes.
Don't always give up an equity stake in your business, especially when it's smaller, to fundraise those type of ideas. But there's a lot of different ways to kind of get out there and build some funding. We just have to get kind of creative, and
Yes.
I'm in real estate, and I do a lot of different things in that way, and I have some ideas for you, so we're gonna be cooking up.
But definitely, he definitely understands. I just feel like you want more. Like you want to offer so much more, and $10,000 is not gonna offer nothing but a headache to everybody. Especially like say if it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Say if we got everybody on here and everybody's on payroll, and this is even a real life situation for myself. Everybody's on staff, and you have a payroll, even just a payroll stipend of say even 50, 60,000 a month of just payroll between people and paying them like minimum wage. This is like, how can you overcome this to where you can get somewhere, have buildings, have all this stuff, pay people even higher than minimum wage, and get where you need to go as a black business? How can you get there? We ain't even talk about no benefits yet.
Absolutely.
We ain't even talk about no
Ain't even talk
benefits
about
yet.
no medical.
And I gotta pay you minimum. I'm just trying to get you minimum wage and make sure you still do the work. Not sitting there like, I need more than minimum wage. That's what you're looking at on your. They ain't worry about no work. They just, I don't have more than minimum wage. So then you're not getting the work you need out of them, and it just becomes some crazy cycle. So even I feel like even just with the internship program, I'm like, okay, let me just start from the ground up, so people can know what this is, even from what we're getting into, and then try to have a love for it as you grow through it. Because even just hiring people, because people want to get to a point of hiring, man, I'm just like, y'all, I'm like, what, you need to be inspired? You need to be helped? I don't have time to be paying you, because this is great, because I'm not inspiring. I just like, even though I'm trying to inspire you, it's not helping anything. It's not doing anything, because you're just worried about that check. You're worried about how you'll get your food, how you getting whatever. And I just, even though you want to get to that level, I want to make sure everybody that you're giving those funds to, it's allotted. We don't have those certain luxuries that even Ask Alice or these grants and whatever. We don't have those luxuries, so we can't keep hiring and hiring and hiring, and then what? And then people just riding clocks, and black businesses can't afford that at all. So
Yeah,
It's
absolutely. I actually had a question for you about when you left Howard. Now,
Yes.
did you ever actually go into corporate America? Were you always a business owner? And then, as part of that, how do you, I guess, talk to young people today, right? When you're motivating them and talking to them about their decision, are you pushing college? Are you pushing entrepreneurship, or kind of somewhere in between?
I just feel like wherever you want to be, because I feel like everybody has a place in the fight. I don't like when they say everybody, oh, you need to be an entrepreneur. Absolutely not, because we need to have, not even saying workers, but we need to have everybody on every side of the coin, or every side of the prism, whatever you want to call it. I don't even think it's a coin. It's more of just, like a triangle. So we need to have more people on all sides of this, our Egyptian ancestral bounds. But I just don't like it when people are always just trying to push for people to be entrepreneurs. I feel like we need leaders of companies. We need CEOs. We need vice presidents. We need these different individuals so we can come in and interface the way we need to. Why is everybody being an entrepreneur and then now we have nothing in these companies as we should, even people starting their own companies, construction, whatever. We just don't have that proper engaging that I feel like we need to have. So I definitely am pushing for people to even go to school, and get it paid for. You said I did. So I feel like if I can do it, get it paid for, yeah. I mean, I did have that black athletic journey, but because it's not basketball or football.
Yeah.
I did have an athletic. I was just like, we going to school for something. I mean, it was a partial. I did have a partial academic scholarship, but it was a full partial academic and a full athletic scholarship. So just doing stuff like that and what that looks like, I'm like, if you can go to school for free, go. Like it's just not do entrepreneurship because school is where you find yourself, understand your nurturing, understand your networking, your nurture, all that stuff. And even being at a place, say Montgomery Sorority Incorporated, even coming with doing that, like say if we're doing something with George Floyd or whatever else, you calling the Divine Nine. Yeah. And you calling these different people just like Roland Martin and other people are saying, why aren't we calling back on these organizations to help us? Because this is the organization we pledged to. So when you understand, or even if you even pledged, when you go to college, you'll understand what it is to have that support at those lowest levels. Even with business, you can find 5 or 6 sorors out here that will help you with your business. Like, can y'all help me come over here and move some stuff around? Like, all right, I'm a little busy, but so I'll come out. They will. It's because that's their it's an oath. If somebody called me, all right, what you need help with? Okay, like I'm gonna help. Can you tell me how to get this and this and this? I'm gonna help you. I might not want. This is my oath, and this is my pledge to my organizations, and I wish more Black people would pledge and not look at it like it's all crazy, but then wonder why we can't get organizations together. Right. Y'all wonder why we can't do nothing because we don't even have it at the lowest levels. We're not even understanding. We didn't even do this from college. We're not even doing this in our communities. Yeah. How are you gonna get somebody to listen to you now at whatever age? And these are the little things that do get a lot of these organizations, as we know, Martin Luther King being an alpha and different things like that. That stuff gets things moving around here, and I don't think people really, really understand that. So,
you think that's a consequence of being on the West Coast? Because out here,
probably that's what it is, right? We ain't in DC right now.
Yeah.
The culture is a little different here.
We are here, ain't we? I'm sorry. But I be forgetting because I'm like, yes, this is your consequence. But I feel like that's mainly what it is. Yeah. Just being over here. Yeah. You don't have the Black schools. There's not a lot of those Black interfaces. So that's the only reason I feel like y'all are not just super like, oh, this is my culture. You're not taking African American classes or doing anything in school or just have different people that are constantly just, even for me, like you'd be like, oh my God, Phylicia Rashad coming today. What?
Like, how are you not happy?
This is how we are at Howard. I will not lie to you. We be like, Phylicia Rashad coming to teach today. Okay, yeah, Debbie Allen's coming. She's doing dance, and then we got theater class with Felicia.
It was
like that's every
rolling
day
your
for
eyes,
y'all.
like you're rolling your eyes.
Because for me, if they would have been like, oh, Debbie Allen's teaching today.
Yes, and
okay,
then we're
hold on,
sitting here. Don't let Blair Underwood come for the 100th time. This was back then. He was in so many movies. And I'd be like, this, I think Gia just came out, or Great Gatsby, that whole movie. This was years and years ago. So Blair Underwood's coming with another movie. He talking about, Howard, can you please stop asking us to do a review? But they do. They come to these schools and drop these movies off.
Somebody gonna ask you, how old is you? Huh?
I'm 36.
Okay.
So I put it together. That's what I figured.
But I'm old enough. But I'm 36. So I'm talking about Blair Underwood and these other people at that time. Diary. What was it? That was a Diary of a Black Woman. But all those little Tyler Perry movies was just coming out. So I was in school early 2000, 2000s. I was that time period, just fresh off of juvenile hot boys action.
Okay.
But yes, that's why I'm talking about all these different things and how they were relevant to the culture. But yeah.
And that's so rare because I remember back when I was in school, UNLV, the guy that did Get Out, they had him come speak.
Oh, you're talking about, Jordan and Keith.
Yeah,
Jordan.
They had him. It's like, that's so rare. That's the only one I can, think back to all 4 years of college.
And that's the only person they had, actually. And that's great. I'm telling you, like, it's like Russell Simmons is over here in the School of Bees today. We got John, before, what was it, John H. Johnson, before he died in School of Communications. He would come over there, talk about different things. Like, the people are at Howard campus all the time. Girl, we spoiled. Like, we are
for
spoiled,
real.
spoiled.
Because we've been trying to get it here, and it just
like,
doesn't happen.
What? No,
It
like
just
they're
doesn't
dashes.
happen.
They're constantly rolling on Howard campus trying to toss us something. I'm like, will you get out of my face? And I just feel like that's just us being spoiled. Because I think about over here, and it's like, Brett Underwood's always here. Chadwick will be, I mean, even Chadwick, I think he was there like 2 years before I was. I didn't necessarily know about him, I think 2002. But just even him being there, different celebrities and stuff, we're always at the school. So I just feel like you just kind of don't even think about it after a while. Just being so privileged at Howard. But I feel like that just honestly, you just step into that path. It's like, oh, I know Felicia comes to my class every other week. Why can't I do what Felicia doing? Like, or even calling her Felicia. I'm like, Felicia, you back here? Like, girl, no, I still don't know how to act.
Is she really as pretty in person?
Yes. What you talking about?
What kind of question is that?
Would you
Hey,
like,
we're on TV.
Felicia
It's different.
over here looking like this, that. I mean, she's giving. It's not even giving grandma. Just giving just regalness. She just. You just
She
be
is
sitting there looking at her,
very
and then she's like, but you just, you got to articulate, and you got to, she's giving you. It's the same thing you saw on the Cosby Show in person.
Okay.
It's the same.
That's
thing,
beautiful. I
same
think people
vibe.
need
Her
to see
sister,
that.
they all act the same. So.
I think there's a difference in people who grew up with Felicia Rashad's coming to their school and talking to them versus, a sweetie coming to your school and being like, because that's what they do here. They be having like the rappers come and talk to the kids. And I'm like, can you please just call Debbie? Like, can we get her over here? Because I don't want my daughter talking to Sweetie.
I'm at school. I think, English class. You go to English class, Toni Morrison is teaching.
That's
like, we're doing things
awesome.
like that. It wasn't, before she paid. Like, just things like that were going on. I don't know anything other. Like I said, even Dr. Carr. If y'all even go look at Dr. Carr and with Roland Martin, like this is somebody I took, for 3 years at Howard University. So now, and just to look at him now as being one of the most prolific Black figures, or even if y'all look at Dr. Carr and on Roland Martin, he's just one of the main feature people. I'm like, dang, Dr. Carr, what you doing? Like from classrooms to here, this is nuts. And I just feel like, nah, like that's just what it was, and just not even know how privileged you are. And I feel like that also, like you're saying, being on the West Coast, you wouldn't even have those opportunities. And I'm not even thinking about that. Talking to y'all right now, I'm like, yeah, Felicia would be there, such and be there. I remember we booed Lloyd off the stage one day. I remember when we was over here. I pulled out some tickets with Trey Songz. It was like a night. It was I was looking at my 2005, like I said, that Soror book, and it was 2005 tickets for Howard University homecoming, and it was Trey Songz and Trick Daddy and some other. I was just looking at tickets. I'm like, damn, look at this. Like, just looking at just people that just on the campus you don't even care about. And I'm like, why are you even here? And Blair Underwood included. I'm sorry, Blair.
How would
Shout
you
out to-
propose that we get that kind of culture here?
Bring
Because
more
I'm
Black
thinking
people.
we need
That's
more
it.
people like you. Like, are you going to be out here in the community?
Yes, that's the thing. It's like me living here, being here, and really just, I guess, even though I feel like it is taking a little bit to stick. I'm not used to that. That's, I guess, what I'm used to you coming in with the vibes, and it's like, okay, we're gonna do this, and everybody's just with it. And here it's like, well, I don't want to do that today. It's like, not today. Well, then you
What
ain't
do
trying
you
to be
mean?
black. Like, I'm over it. Like, you ain't
Like,
trying
I'm
to be
sorry.
black ever.
Did you wake up, look in the mirror, and you wasn't black today?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm like, how are you not on this today? Like, I just don't get it. And for me to not be so just like, well, fine, even though doing it myself, it's like, okay, we'll just continue to just, love on the community. I feel like they just, like you were just saying, I feel like it's more of that deer in the headlights. It's just more of like, oh, it's black in here. And it's like, but you can be black too. It's like, huh. And I just feel like they just
like,
need to put
can
that
I?
on. Like,
How do I do that?
it's like you can really just, come and be it. And it's like, huh. I feel like it's just been so just like a dumbfounded energy for so long here. Just in Vegas, like you can really be black and like accept it and love it.
Yeah.
And no one can take nothing from you with it, even though you see all them Trump signs. None of that stuff ain't never shook me since I've been here. So even I know that I was actually about to put on a Make America Great Again hat to buy my little pistol out here, pew pew. So they was not trying to sell guns here in Vegas to black folks during George Floyd. So you had to throw on your little hillbilly hat and get up in there and be like, yeah, I'm not with Trump. Whatever it takes to get the weapon. Okay. We got the weapon, but you did have to say that you like Trump. And that's Vegas for you. But that's what it is. And that's why I'm like, how can you be black if I got to go in here, myself with an X hat and have to make America great again just to go buy a gun? so I can protect myself as a black person. They're already sitting here accosting. How does that work? But
How do we go about teaching people that they can be that though? Like, what do you think stops people from accepting their? Oh, I'm sorry. What do you think?
you know it's gonna be like, don't be like me.
Oh no,
We gotta
I'm
get
the
up in
original.
here.
I hate this thing. I'll be like,
I'm gonna be like
now,
this
how
now.
do you think this works? And John be like, put the mic up.
Yep. Put it to your mouth. We out here like put the mic up here. I'm like, okay, I don't know what this is.
Right. It's just weird. How
It's too
would we
much.
begin to teach people that being black is okay? Because out here we grew up with 90210 and, you know, Saved by the Bell type stuff. Y'all watched it too. Don't do me. But like, this is what people grow up with. And
But
when
that
you're
was
too black,
it.
you're looked at like you either got to be ghetto or, you know, any other negative thing. But you can't wear your natural hair. Most people don't even mess with it out here. How do we
That's
teach
the
people that they don't
thing.
have to be scared?
And I honestly, even myself, I'm not even too sure how to even navigate it on the West Coast, just because even coming out here with my own natural hair, you even see I have my own natural stuff going on.
I'm loving
How do
it.
you push your own natural hair without being, oh, you're just eclectic, or oh, what you doing trying to do, or
Exactly.
are you bisexual? It doesn't have to be something just because, oh, I've shaved the sides of my head. I'm like, what? Bald on the East Coast? I'm gonna come after your man, whatever.
Okay,
But-
and take them.
I'm
And his
like,
uncles
what?
and
This
his
hair
daddies.
is honestly a deterrent. Because I need to be with the baldy on the East Coast. They be like, oh, I know she with it. Like, that's really what it is. So coming out here, and then they wanting, like, the whole notion of them wanting the weaves and wanting that falsehood. I just don't even understand that. And I feel like it's really like just that unapologetic nature again. You really just have to know who you are. And I know even for y'all, it's just, but living here, you know who you are, but it can, you know, nobody wants to be lonely out here or just not wanting to have any friends, or you just an outcast because you're just unapologetically you. So I feel like out here, it won't be until we like collectively understand culture that you're gonna be accepting of other things, where we don't necessarily have to have the hairs or or just whatever it is. So I mean, I love a good braid.
I think it just got to be more black
I
people.
love it.
That's it.
Right.
Black loving.
No, I think it got to be more black people.
I don't
More
even
black
know.
people?
We have
I'm
so
tired
No,
of
no.
the displaced
here,
pool.
though.
I'm like, it's a displaced pool. I don't even think
Right.
it gotta be more black people.
Why you say that?
Because I came here as a force by myself. You don't need nothing more than me. I just feel like I came, if I could come by myself and it still ain't sticking, where I'm like, get this black culture. It's not working. Like, it's not working.
You know, I think why? Because I think when I look at the East
More
Coast and
kinds
down
of
South, yeah. Like East Coast and down South has more enriched culture and history of like collectively getting together. There's more history of like teaching like something about us. What I've learned
Right.
being born out here is that there's no history of teaching the young black man something about himself. So there's nothing to be proud of being that. So if you're not being taught how to love or even know something about you or your peoples, you're not going to connect with it. And I think that's here
I love
where
that.
we don't really have that. So like down South East Coast, you have so much like educational things about black
Exactly,
people. Because
yup.
mind you, as you just said that, you have Felicia Rashad, you have all these people coming to the college to talk to these kids. Here you don't have that. So it's like if
Yup.
they don't see like powerful or rich or wealthy black people doing something, they don't see a great outcome for themselves. So I think if we had that more, because mind you, the more black wealthy people or successful people,
Outside of a residency.
yes.
Talk about it.
So outside of residency,
Residency,
it'll
yes.
make them like, okay, I can achieve this. You know what I'm saying? Or even just being taught that in school. So I think if we was taught some of these things in
Yeah.
school, they'd be like, you know what, I am.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I
That's
can
what I
do
want.
that.
No, you say I am
Yeah.
somebody. All right,
So
show
it's
the
like, but
difference.
like I said, me being born and raised out here, when I talk to people, a lot of them really don't know too much about their history or about where they come from.
Or
Crazy.
services here that even would help them out with their blackness. Because, I mean, to Vegas's credit, I'm not saying that y'all don't have the stuff here. It's just, it's not. I didn't know about the 100 Black Men of Las Vegas until I was here like for 2-3
we go with
years.
them
Like, how
100
did I
black
not know who these people are? How do I not know that my boys can be mentored through this program? I didn't know that. It wasn't available. The information wasn't pushed out there. I can't reach out
very
to
much
somebody,
it.
call them, go to a meeting. I only just found out where the NAACP meets. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I
Like
just
they
came from
don't,
the
you
meeting
don't
yesterday.
talk
How you
about.
doing?
That's what I'm talking about. I just found out where they're meeting at. So like, why doesn't the information get out? Why don't we communicate with each other better? Like,
Because not too many of us doing it.
but why?
Because we don't
And
care.
I think we need to start there. We
We
need to
don't
get people
care.
to care.
He said it.
Because I'm
He
trying
said
to have
it.
my kids surrounded
'Cause
by
they don't
blackness,
care.
you know?
Listen, they don't care.
It's
Just the
just
culture
don't
here
care.
on the
It's
West, I
don't
don't know what it
care.
is. It's the culture here on the West. They just don't.
It's just
Don't care.
We gotta get
if
to a
we
point
had
where we
black
start fixing
like
it.
black events, even events and things on the East Coast. It's like you got to turn people away from getting in. Here, it's just like, can y'all please come out? I never met a
Exactly.
place. where
Did you
have to
even
beg
know
people
about the
to
Black
come
History Month
outside.
event yesterday?
Which one?
At the Springs Preserves, did you even know about
No, what
it?
is this?
Exactly,
What
it
did I
happened
do?
yesterday, and
even
people
that, like,
don't
there
even
was a,
know.
like I went to the like you were saying my NAACP event. I went to the NAACP event yesterday with Aaron Ford and the chief of police and the NAACP president. So I went out there, and that was just yesterday.
And he's
at the-
newly
at the library.
elected.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's newly elected, and people don't even know. It's like,
like,
how
I
do
just
you
met him
not
at a
know
banquet
about your representation
in
here?
February, and I'm like, that's exactly what I'm trying to do, even for Black by Popular Demand or even HCC Apparel. Being that I am here, I feel like all too often I was always trying to do stuff that was, I don't want to say monolithic, but just always like, this is where everybody's doing, so let's just talk about this, and like really just now honing in on where I am and really making this a thing. Because even like you were saying, like, why do you not know? And it's a damn shame. Well, why don't you know?
Why don't
don't you know? Why don't you know that there was an event at the end of the NAACP yesterday? Well, even when I went to that one in the morning, and then I went and saw Dr. Umar Johnson that was here last night.
I would have
don't
loved
know
to
if
see
you
him.
saw-
I had no
Yes,
idea,
Dr.
see, and I
Umar
would
was
have
here
went
last
to
night.
that.
And I saw him when I saw him at the library last night. But just even, I'm like, it was at capacity, but it wasn't at capacity. It might have been like, maybe I don't even say it was 100 people. It might have been might have been 100 people in there.
And you'll
if
see the
that.
same people
But I
at
feel like
every
it should have
event,
been
too.
200 people. It should have been 100 niggas that waiting outside. It should have been 100 inside, 100 outside. But just, I don't know what was going on. People, I don't even think it's people like don't want to go. They're just not even knowing, and just poor, like super poor marketing, but not even on like a. They want to market out here, and it's just not picked up, not perceived, and I don't know where all that goes. You're like, ugh, what you want to say about it? I know you know, because I'm like, what is it about here?
I kind of want to say it's two things to
What
it,
is
right?
it? Yo, you want to rate it? What is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, we should be asking you all these questions. I'm asking you.
Because I just saw Dr. Umar. Why wasn't there 300 people outside?
Okay, he said, I don't know. Umar had some.
I mean, people
Advertising
go on Umar, though.
Yeah.
But still, even so, just even like a collective black message. Just even if I want to go see, you don't like this culture doesn't know any. Like, if you don't know anything about anything, why is everybody always trying to figure
Because
it out?
black people scared of black people on the West Coast.
Damn.
Well,
Why
no,
are we dropping all these gems right now?
Damn.
We're dropping
listen,
more
'cause-
bombs.
Yeah, because I'm saying this, man, because it's like here being born and raised, when you go with a bunch of black
Scared of
folks,
black people.
bah, 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 you scared, you don't want to fuck with that shit. So you think it might happen. Because come saying it's so much hood shit or like gang banging. So it like when certain events happen, it's like, okay, some might get shot up.
Is it
So,
really? Maybe that's
yeah.
what I don't understand that. Maybe if you're from the East Coast, it's like, oh, it's gang banging out here. I'm like, nah, we pulling that. And it's just like, I don't think like, oh, it's black people collecting. I'm like, oh, these are my people. Let me come.
So yeah.
It's like we don't even
I
think
don't
about what
think, like,
happens at
black
the event.
people,
I just want to
weapons,
go.
stay back. I don't think that. I'm not thinking that
Because I think because as you mature, you get older, you don't want to be around certain things. So and then when certain things get to happen, you be like, yo,
and it's wild. And they had like it
I'm
was
cool.
the paint like I was the Panthers. They was outside like securing the perimeter, had flags up there. It was people walking around. I don't want to say the black man, but they was outside on the perimeter. So I'm like, even for black people to think that it was gonna be some, it was was people out here like, no, brother,
It's showing.
It
It's
ain't about to be
physically
nothing.
showing.
Like,
Yeah.
See, but that's what I'm saying.
What was the event at, though?
where was it
It was
at?
on the west side, most likely.
You know,
Probably.
Shut up. You know that's where black people at.
Right, but that's his point, though. Most people don't
But we
wanna
think
go
and
to the
that's what I don't know, but I know that they have events out here on the west side. So I just be going out here and I'll be like, man, what's going on out here? But I don't even
See,
I don't even know if it's like a big like
Cause at one
gang
point for the
gang
yeah, see,
thing.
cause for a long time, like the West Side was like the hood shit where like,
Yeah,
you
that's
get
why I'm
killed
like, why
over
they
there.
keep having so many events out here if it's so like, you know.
Cause like now it's
They're
not as
trying
bad
to
as it used to
revitalize
be.
the West Side.
Revitalize
Yeah.
it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And then it was West Side where it ain't as bad as it used to be. But at
Okay.
one point, West Side was like, I ain't going over
Right?
there. You know what I'm saying? So
I should've
but I'm
known.
saying,
They
I just
had the
think it's a
MLK
couple.
Avenue
I
over
think
there.
it's a couple of things to it. That's why I say it's one of those, and then also you have some black people who's just not familiar or have the mindset of what Dr. Umar is on.
Mm-hmm.
So some people are just not gonna gravitate to that. But then the ones that you do are in tune to it, they're gonna go. And that's why you see some of them there.
Yup.
See, so but the ones who really don't care, I never was really on that. Cause mind you, if you don't know who you are, where you come from, and what's going on,
Exactly.
you're not familiar with that. So you like, I don't give a fuck about that shit they talking about. I'm over here. And then you got some black folks like, yeah, I don't know about this shit. It's on the West Side. Catch me later.
Catch me later. It's on the West, and that's what I want to know too. Like being like that, I live, closer to to this side of the house. It's like, how do we even that stigma? Like I even talk to them all the time. Like, why I got all these events on the West? Like every single thing on the West. Like why do we have all this stuff? And is that deterrent?
Cause they feel like that's where majority black people's at.
But then
That's
y'all don't
where
even
we'll
want to come up where you don't even want to
Right.
show where you at.
And
It's
it's
just
cra-
like come outside.
And again,
It's
we
walls.
get back to people not knowing, like people not getting the information
They
because
don't get the information.
or
And it's
being
in their
scared when
neighborhood.
they
So-
The
know.
thing is, it's up the street.
So the
Yeah.
thing is like when you look at East Coast, you have black people always been on a certain demographic, and like in a certain section of like some parts of the states.
Yeah.
So wherever they at, that's where they at. Like at one point, West Side was where black people was at. The more Vegas expanded, the more black folks was like, or anybody was like, yo, I want to go over here. This is some nice neighborhoods. Let me go over here. I want to move over here. And so they just get disconnected. Now they just spread it out. So they're not where if you
And they
was
were
in
in the
Chicago, it's
West
on the
at
west side of Chicago. They're not just there. Now they're just every fucking where. You know what I'm saying? So when the event going on, if you're not really over there or know anybody over there in the West Side,
Okay.
how
You
I'ma
ain't
know what's
trying to
going
go.
on? You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
exactly how I feel.
so that's why you can't really get collectively everybody coming together because if he over there in Summerlin or East of
Especially,
Vegas
yeah.
or Henderson, he like, I don't know what's over there. And then he like, and we lazy. The reason why I'm saying we lazy, we not gonna take a 25, 30-minute drive. We gonna
Just
sit
for
there.
one
That's too
thing.
long. We gonna say, you know what? I'm over here.
But you know what?
I
they
guess
want
that shit
to
later.
for strip clubs.
They would,
Right.
yep, in the club.
They'll go
People
right
really
down
just
there.
Don't care, and that's what I realized too. Is hosting like my events. My whole thing is I'm like, okay, obviously people only care about shaking ass at the club, right? Looking at
No,
strip
they
clubs,
was at that
they-
networking event you
They
did.
was so I'm like, that's why I'm like, I'm trying to
Shout outs to
bring
that
in
networking
the
event. That was
party
dope.
and things. So I'm like, thank you so
That
much.
was great. That's
Sounds like
we
you
was out
need
there
one
for
of
that.
these too, because like
Shout out to that. That was a great
you're a
event.
person who's uniting our people. That's great.
I would have loved to speak at that
Yes,
event.
I'm actually gonna talk to you. I want you at the next one. I want you at the
Because we
next
gotta
one.
talk. Because I'm like
Yes.
you, as you now even see. I'm like, oh, I need to talk to these people. Because even when they was talking, I was like, yo, let me tell you how. I was like, whoa, shut up. This is ridiculous. I was like, yo, this is really wild how you're talking to these people. Yo, you better be quiet so I can tell you how to get money. No, sir, that's not
that's
it.
not how you
That's
communicate with
not it.
people.
Exactly.
And I just wanted more of an engagement, but I still loved exactly what it was. It wasn't you, it was very much the people. But this is what Vegas have to offer. So
Exactly.
it wasn't you.
Yeah.
The great event, great stuff. That's why I was like,
Thank you.
girl, we need to get some more, even like a female, even for that's what I was talking about for Women's History Month.
Yes.
Trying to get like a female, even some sort of female panel situation to where we can empower other women.
That would
But-
be dope.
I would like that just for that month, but I would still like to do more stuff just on the brink of other things, but just for women specifically. But men be like, what are women doing? And then they want to come over here. Now they come to the empower,
Right.
whatever that other stuff is. But I definitely want to have something where we could do more networking events.
Yes,
but
we
I don't
need
know
that.
why.
We
But I'm
need
like, they came to her event. But even so, even when they were still there, they like this.
Exactly.
And I'm like, do you want to learn? Like, do
Right,
you
like,
want to know
people
anything?
don't
You don't
care.
know what
No.
these people
Some
know.
of the feedback that I got, because I sat on a forum, people were like, panel, and of course, panel can be too long and people just have a short attention span, but people really do come to just talk to each other and network. Like, they don't care to listen to a panel and learn about generational wealth. They don't care to listen to a panel and learn about how to make money.
And I think honestly, it was more of it being like it wasn't. Even though it was a mixed crowd, it wasn't enough black.
It wasn't.
It wasn't enough black people. It's like if I come up here and sit here with this X hat on, it's like, what she about to talk about? What she about to say?
I did. It was all black people, and people were like this the whole time. They didn't have to worry about some people quiet, nothing. They were just
Listen.
Like this, and that panel had like 10
Yeah, that's
And then
great.
all black folks in the room just sitting there listening, like taking notes, listening. So you're right. I think that's what it is.
I really would, even if it was something like even listening to Aaron Ford, even though he's the Attorney General, even listening to him yesterday, as soon like you could hear pins dropping that damn room yesterday. It was like a press conference, like very, very like I loved it. All the black men was getting their attention. It was the police chief in Memphis, the NAACP president from Memphis, the president here, and Aaron Ford. Man, just I love how they were giving those men the utmost respect, just listening to everything they had to say. But that's I feel like where we need to be at. Even if it's that type of event, you can just have your networking when it's time to be quiet. Y'all just be quiet, like,
Right.
or just even if y'all on your phone, like, why are you even on your phone? Like, what are you here for? Just even see what they got to talk. It's 5 minutes. Just
Come from behind the phone. You be
like it's 5 minutes.
Like, what did
Just
you pay for?
5
Right.
minutes. Where he got to be like, okay, be quiet. Let me tell you how to get this money. I was like, whoa, Turo.
Did y'all feel?
Right,
Whoa.
no, definitely.
Turo. I don't know if I want to know how to do this. That's wild.
Right, like,
No,
But-
shout out to Simone for her event though. Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
like I said, shout out.
Yeah, yeah.
I loved it.
Right,
so.
and I feel like the mix is like doing more things like that, right? Because
Yes.
sometimes it's too much like Dr. Umar lecture style,
Yes.
and then it's too much entertainment. Like we need to figure out ways, like Simone is doing, to kind of combine both of those different things, right? Because again, we do come out to party, different things, but let's educate more. Like as you could already see, like now with like Earn Your Leisure, they're doing a lot of events and different things where they're combining the two, right? And people are kind of showing out and showing up for those. So I think that's something that we're looking to do. You know, Simone has her own stuff going on, even here with the podcast, right? I mean, the whole vision for right now is the Society of Black Entrepreneurs. You coming together and really interviewing different black entrepreneurs in Las Vegas and really starting that think tank to have these kind of conversations so that we could start to collaborate more and, you know, continue to build and expand on these ideas that you have. And now, since we already all know each other, okay, when somebody having an event, we all gonna be there now. You know, we gonna show up
Definitely.
and show out and get things going and stay incorporated and plugged in.
So let me ask you, when the event happens, do y'all already have the music started and shit?
oh,
Y'all
like
did-
when the event starts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all need to turn that shit off.
Why you turn it off?
Black.
You be turning up.
No, what you
That music come,
mean?
hey, they need to focus. If y'all trying to get them to focus, hey,
No.
music and drums and black people.
Besides the blah blah blah, do what I love.
Hey,
And like you better, I'm like, if y'all can't turn
You
on
know-
that little whiz kid real quick, just give me that little mingle music.
but I'm
I
saying
need a
like
little
you know
Afro
us, you know us. we
love
like
some
kids.
Afro
But I'm
beats.
saying like we like we like black people. Come on, we know us.
That's
right?
the man. They
Music
can't
come
focus.
on.
They better stop.
Listen, music come on. We can't focus.
That's why these dances take
We don't know how to
over
act.
so fast. We be
Not
like,
the women.
oh,
We over here
hold on.
dum da da.
Listen.
We don't need no other party. Okay, like what? He over here. You stop moving your shoulders and come help me with these packages. Stop. That's you. That's you. That's why we need each other though, because the men be getting distracted. They need to realize they gotta help out. As you said, you distract. I'm like, wait, no. I remembered every speaker. I was at the event. I went to the bar. I came back. I was attentive at Simone's event.
It's the ability to multitask.
Yeah, see, but I'm
He
saying the
said,
thing.
turn the music off. I'm like, what's going on here?
Why? Didn't y'all
I
say-
feel like, what's this? What is this?
Did y'all
What
say
we
everybody was
doing?
on their phones?
They were no during. The music was off. That's what I'm saying. The music was off. The people were talking. They were just talking on the side. Then they would start being quiet, and they were just on the phone.
Damn.
They were just on the phone
Talk about that in
quietly.
the shop. Like people don't have the attention span no more.
Yes, they
You
were
know,
like,
people
shut
sit
up.
in
I'm
the
gonna tell you
chair.
about Turo, and I was like, oh my god.
Damn.
All right.
No,
shit
it
is
was
crack.
bad. I'm telling you.
I was there.
You was there, so you remember? He's like, shut up. I'm gonna tell you about Turo. I was like, God, no.
Like, why do we have
This
to talk
should not
to
be
each other
like
like
this.
that?
And
Why did you
yeah,
say
I don't
that
wanna
like
learn
that?
like that. That's wild.
Now
Like,
you gonna be speaking at the next one, and we gonna get it all together.
Yes.
Tell them to shut the fuck up.
I will not. I'm like, listen, quiet down, my children. Quiet down, my
Sometimes
precious
you have to
gifts.
talk to people in grace to get them to do what you want. You know?
Look, but even so, you've already, you know, black woman is God. So I'm here to talk, but I'm definitely not about feminist stuff. But I will definitely tell you when you need to speak. You need to listen when a black woman is talking, because I'm here to teach you, and I'm here to make sure that you can get to your next goal. So. You know.
So I got another question for myself, right? So me doing a podcast, I'm trying to have like my podcast merch sale, and I got this
certain particular T-shirt I want to sell, and I need some help and
hell.
idea. It's
Because I know all of the.
yeah.
Oh shit.
Yes.
It's plenty of them, but one of them in particular I really want to get off. It's a Bernie Mac. It got Bernie Mac on it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and it says fuck them kids.
No.
I need help. I need help with that.
Why I gotta say fuck them kids though? Can't just see his face when he said it?
Nah,
But
cause you know,
everybody knows the
Fuck
face,
them
But
kids
fuck them
John.
sometimes.
kids, why? Okay, well, what's your definition of
cause
fuck
they
them
get on your,
kids?
cause it's just
in general, what does it mean?
Cause when they get on your nerve, that's it.
So it's just a fuck them kids.
Yeah, it's
It
not
needs
like-
a personal time kind
Yeah,
of. Okay.
that type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Alright.
Not like fuck the kids. You don't want to help them. It's like, but it just depends on how that person feels. What if he a deadbeat daddy? He like, I don't want to take care of them kids. Fuck them kids. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You messing
That
up
is
your
not-
intentions
What? Listen.
already.
What if the mama's in the room? She got her boyfriend, and they being nosy. She want to be like, fuck them kids. Right?
I feel like
Sometimes
But
you wanna-
that's after you've already taken care of
Yeah.
your
but,
actual,
but
woman
so
with
the
you.
fuck your kids is almost like my me time.
Okay.
You get it? Like it's
But
my
I
me
get
time.
that, but I
Like-
don't want it to be like, oh, the deadbeats. I want it to really be
Right.
a thing for like, those dads that are really like, even a DeVal, somebody that's wore my, like the brand for me, like, I am DeVal, Kadeem Hardison, like them type of people, like DeVal with his 5 boys, okay, I'm fuck that kids that night, I need time with my wife.
Yeah.
What is that? Like, is that what that looks like? As far as like,
yeah.
but that's why I love Bernie Mac's face, and maybe like I would say I would do it if it was the
See, I got it
F
made.
word with the symbols, maybe.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I got it made already. I'm just trying to see how I'm gonna push this shit.
I
It's
you can
gonna
put it
take
a number of
some, it's gonna take
ways.
some.
You got to put it on. No, it should be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't get it made yet. I ain't get it made yet. I just got the design up, but I ain't get it made yet. I ain't get it made yet.
I
So
only
I'm
work
just
out
trying
by look, and that's. I mean, I like this one too. I only work out in the.
Oh, this ain't mine. This another black brand. This brother
I
named.
only work out to fit designer clothes.
Yeah.
But designer
That starts
clothes is not
Monday.
on.
He's actually from, I think, from where you at.
Where you at? Oh, you
Yeah,
from
his
DC?
name. Yeah, he from. I think he's from Kentucky, but he was in DC for a while. You know what I'm saying? His name Devin. Yeah, called Dot Starts Monday. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, so I
this.
support
But
him.
shout out to him. I really like this. It's very, it has the little antisocial kind of wave situation. I like that.
Oh, okay. You noticed that shit. I did it.
You didn't want to
It
wave.
does. That's
I
crazy
just
that
seen
you
what it
didn't
said.
even.
I was like, I like this shit. Yeah.
He just said, "That's the homie," and I want to
Yeah.
support him.
I was just supporting. Yeah, you know, you
I
got.
got to make sure, even for myself, I got to make sure I get y'all some of the, I don't know what type of podcast, or as far as like, that y'all were doing, it's like a series type of thing. I know I was talking to someone a while, this is like, months and months ago. I don't know if it had just started. So I was like, oh, look, because I know I was trying to start a podcast too. So
Okay.
I'm always looking for more places to do more collective, things that don't look so much like, in the house, very much, fireside chat, Cosby Show. That's what I'm trying to be on.
Okay.
We
It's
trying.
coming.
That's why I gotta get some topics. Y'all gonna let me know what do y'all want to hear from, like, even business owners or whatever. How people always do theirs, but I'm gonna start trying to ask different people what they want to know, even about business or even starting or what this looks like. Because I feel like all it is people they just want somebody to hold their hand, especially
Yeah.
black folks. My God, come here, come on. I'm gonna
She
press
said,
the button.
"I will be mother."
I'll
Come on.
press the button. And it's just so scared. Like, y'all so scared to take the first step. Just step out there. I don't know. For me, I know that sometimes with my piece, I'm like, I got to make sure it looks like this or this. But I remember making shirts on, just screen printing on Gildan shirts. Why am I acting like I'm so far above it? And I know now I'm like, damn, you got to be all super perfect. Got to have mic stands. And what if I would have came on here in 2013? What's up, y'all? With my phone. What's up, y'all? I know I'd have been that person. Why do I think I need all this now? So, but I'm
'Cause
still
you just
gonna
wanna
get
be
the
more
mic stand.
professional, that's
I
it.
am. Like, I'm still gonna get the mic stand. But push come to shove, I will hit him with this instance real
Because
quick.
your dopeness isn't determined by the shit that you have available to you. Your dopeness is. You'll be
internal,
fine.
as you see. Like, I don't have no questions. As y'all, this is all as you see off the cuff. So I'm very, even happy. I know I was asking. I was like, does she have questions she wanted to ask or whatever? But I know that then it kind of gets staged.
Yeah.
So I know I was like, oh, they want one of these types. So all right, let me just come in here. It ain't no funny Marco. I was like, they ain't gonna play no tricks on me. He be funny Marco be tripping. They came up on Suki Hana and was like, so this ain't you with that wig? She was like, yeah, that was me. I ain't had no money then. I was poor. I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Suki. Scorpios rule it. I love it. Scorpio time. I was like, you thought I wasn't going to say I was broke. But I was. Okay. We trying to make it through. But I love this. I know.
So let me ask you: so you got any wise words to tell somebody out there today that's listening to you, young women, young
Wise
men?
words as far as like even for For business, for life.
For business, for life, everything. Any jewels you got to drop on.
Wise words. I would say wise words would just be continuing to just live in your purpose and being gentle with you. I know for me, I feel like one of my hardest things is being gentle with myself and understanding like being patient.
My fault
with
to cut you
yourself.
off. What you mean by that?
Being gentle with yourself, being patient, like even if you haven't started that business yet, knowing that it's okay. It's okay that you don't know where to go yet. Even myself, like I just started, I picked up even sewing again. Before I used to do the garments myself. And then, you get so far out of it, you just stop. It's like, okay, well, no, I really don't have time to be sewing all these things on or doing that, like being an actual seamstress. And it's like certain things like even, I don't know if y'all seen that movie Kingsman or things like that, where it's like the actual clothier, like a clothier, like a super solid, like this is like, those are my things, what I think about. Like, why am I not there? Like, just follow your dreams, understanding like what that is and live and being gentle with yourself in your process. Like, I know even for myself, making curated boxes, like how I have the hat, jackets, earrings. I had like some bamboo earrings that I made too. But having whole packs of stuff, offering people a holistic experience is something I wanted to do 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And to finally get to it today. And even though it's like, it's not as fast, like all that fast money. It's like, it's very drug dealers. Like, don't listen to me right now. But I was used to fast money and fast things, and not even so much just to help the dream and help whatever. You want fast stuff, and that's just, it comes with putting items in poly mailers, that stuff you get from Shein, all that. That's what that fast money is. But when I can have somebody open up a whole box and you open the box up, you can see the hat, you see like everything's nice and wrapped up, and just an experience that know that you're special is so much more important to me. So I feel like being gentle and knowing that those type of experiences are really what matters. And it's okay, like finding the whole process of anything. Even this, like, it's like you were even saying like a little space. I'm like, bro, this is big shit popping. Like for me, just knowing like people like, even though you have this, it's like, oh, I don't have this. So to me, it's like everything. So just knowing, like being gentle with yourself to know that you have everything. Yeah. And it might, even though you have nothing, maybe it might be nothing on your, like you said, your clothing aspect. Like, oh, I want to make sure this clothing pops. So to you, it could like nothing over here. And then you don't even understand like the beauty of an entire podcast or just this that can create so much more for others. Because even I'm looking like, oh wow, I could really have something to where I might have a camera of this in my home, but I can expand it. I can do other things, and I have people that will support that journey. Yeah. So just being gentle and knowing that I can even ask those questions to be like, oh hey, can we use this space? So can I have this? Like being gentle and knowing that I can ask, and even if you can say no or yes, but just being gentle in that process of asking. Being gentle in that process and knowing that you can ask. Mm-hmm. That's the gentleness. It's like more people like they just like, oh, he's not gonna do that for me. He won't know that. Like I gotta do it all myself. Just be gentle and just act like all you can do is say no. And then we're just like little kids holding your mom's hands, like, well, can you come play with me? Like, and they don't even know. You're like, you don't even want to do that. And that's sometimes for black people or just even people in general. You don't even want to take those little steps to be like, can you help me? Can you do this? Can you do? I don't care. I just trying to say in a minute, help. I'm gonna ask for help. I'm gonna scream out. I'm not a strong black woman, proud black woman. My hands don't work. Okay. So very proud, not strong. Grab the bags. I don't play that game.
I like that too.
So I like when they start saying strong, not proud. Proud, love myself.
Yes.
Can't get the bags. Hands don't work. Can't open it. Okay. Y'all need to know that. Proud. Don't say strong no more. Don't say strong.
It's too much of a burden to put on women anyway. To put the strong black woman burden.
Be feminine. Be yourself. Be feminine. Be you. Be a muse. Be something to be adorned and loved. And don't be worried about lifting, moving, making all this. Just being a muse and being yourself and living in your energy, which will be magnetic. I feel like more women need to be more magnetic and not so chase. So.
Okay, before we get out, what do you mean by that?
Perfect. Don't say nothing else in the show. That was perfect.
Damn.
No. Don't say nothing. I don't want that to be
the podcast.
tainted.
They got me in house. I love this. I'm sorry. I know I went all over the world. I feel like we went everywhere, and I never talked about clothes like halfway. I'm sorry.
No, you good. That's the point of this.
You didn't have to talk about clothes, but can you please show the...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, on the camera.
Listen,
the camera that nobody's seen.
Let's move. Turn around. Go ahead, turn around.
Do the thing. Like, it's dope.
Get into it.
It's dope. It's all dope.
Experience. Love it, love it, love it.
Shout out to the brand though, because I feel
Hey,
like
give hand clap.
that's super strong.
Out here, and it's branded from top to bottom.
From
Like
top
I
to-
said, socks.
Oh, she
and
got the
all,
socks.
and all.
I'm gonna need a pair.
Look, my favorite with the as you saw with the picture with the ones on. So
Okay.
being black, very much if you want to get dunked on, you know.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to have a brand. I'm like, okay, what is a sock that men would be like, yo, you trying to get dunked on real quick? Or ladies is just like, this is very much me, you know, wearing it, whatever. But what can be something that everybody can feel?
Need them.
It's for
Wear them with all of my Jordans, girl.
Look, if you're trying to get dunked on, if you're trying to get yelled at in the street, very much a New York love affair, shout out to these socks, you know. Just being real black in the street yelling at each other, but I love you, Tyrone. Look, do that in your socks. Here for it. It's a love affair.
All right. So we thank y'all for tuning into this episode of Intellectually Foolish, man. We thank our good guests for entertaining us and dropping some
Intellectually
jewels.
foolish. It really did do all that.
Yeah, it did all that. It did all that. But that's what we here for. Y'all like, subscribe, comment, all that. Y'all share this video. We thank
My
y'all.
little handles. Do I say those or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do I have like a little peace sign out or something?
Oh,
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
I'm like, shout out to the brand. If y'all want to follow the brand, HGC Apparel on Instagram, Facebook.
Don't
every
forget the
channel.
mic. Don't forget the mic.
Yeah.
Is it not? Is it too long?
yeah, we gotta hear you.
Shout out.
There you go.
Please follow the brand on Facebook, IG, Twitter, all channels. HGC Apparel. Secure your brand early. Make sure you have the same thing on all channels. So please look for us. If you want to know about anything more, just make sure you send us an email, support or info@hgcapparel.com. And yeah, I'm gonna see y'all on the other side. Black love always.
Black love always. That's a round of applause for that one too.